Namaste children. How are you all? Welcome to today's culture course class. So we are going to discuss the fifth chapter, fifth lesson, image worship. So which lesson we are going to discuss today? Image worship. Yes. In our country, the practice of worshipping God through images is an old as the Vedas. So, in our Indian country, the practice of worshipping the God, even if you visit almost all the temples, will find this what it is images will find in images and idols will find in the temples. So, how since it is there from the Vedas, which we have studied in the previous chapters. So we also learn from the Vedas that the images were housed in temples. So we studied from the Vedas that the images were present in the temples. The Vedas belong to 3000 BC before Christ. So it's such a old, it's an ancient period. Later on, we find Rishi Patanjali, the grammarian Panini, and the great Puranas giving details about the making and function of the images. So later stages, Rishi Patanjali and Panini and the great Puranas also gave us some details about the making and functioning of the images. According to our ancients, although God is formless, it is necessary to give him form to help us concentrate on him. So according to our ancients, although God is not have any form, he is formless. He do not have any form and he is formless. So it is necessary to give him a form as per our to keep concentration on him. These forms should be liked and respected by us. So those forms which were given by the old people in the ancient days, so it was respected and liked by us. So the followers of Vishnu made images of Vishnu. Those following Shiva made images of Shiva. So those who follows Lord Vishnu, they made Vishnu's photos, and those who worship Lord Shiva, they made the images of Lord Shiva. Then it is still others who found it easier to get nearer God by means of the mother aspect, worshipped God in the images of Devi. So not only this Vishnu and Shiva, so there we have this, what I mean to say, it is who will worship the nearer to the God, nearer God by means of the mother aspect. They will have the images of Devi. In course of time, well-defined rules were framed for the making of images of God. These were included in Puranas and Agamas. So in the later stages, some rules were defined by the in making the images of the God and were included in the Puranas and Agamas. So what were those rules we will discuss now? Yes, Agamas are textbooks containing rules for worshipping images. So, what are Agamas? They are the books which contain some rules for worshipping the images. According to Vishnu Dharmottara Purana, God created the art of idol making. He desired that all the beauty of dance forms should reflect in idols too. So, according to one Purana, old Purana, it is Vishnu Dharmottara Purana. God created the art of idol making, and he desired that all the beauty of dance forms also should reflect in idols also. So Vishwakarma was the first sculpture created by God. Who is the first sculpture which is who is given created by God? It is Vishwakarma. Then idol making became so sacred that the makers did not wish to reveal their names. So the idol making, this work, it is very sacred. Sacred means what it is, wealthful, worthyful. Why it is worthyful? Because they don't want to tell their names also. We must remember that all art forms were used for the worship of God only, and idol making was no exception. So what we should remember, that all the forms which were made, they were used for only worshipping the God only, including idol making. So it is called Silpa Shastra in Sanskrit and iconography in English. So icon means idol, and so we are studying this lesson something about this ancient science too. So what it is called Silpa Shastra in Sanskrit. Silpa means idol in Sanskrit, and in English we call it as iconography. Icon means it is idol. So we are going to study in this lesson about this ancient science also. According to the Agamas, idols are the three main types: the achal or immovable, the achal or immovable, chalachal, the partially movable, and chala movable. See, all these words taken from the Sanskrit. So according to Agamas, what it is? Idols are of three types. That is, achal means which cannot move, immovable means which cannot move, achal. Chalachal means partially movable, and chala movable. So three forms of idols were there as per according to the Agamas. The principal idol of idols fixed in the inner sanctum of temples belonging to the first kind. Yes, the principal idols fixed in the inner sanctum of temples belonging to the first kind, that is, which are immovable. So where do we find this kind of idols? It is in the inner part of the temple, inner position. They are fixed and it is immovable. These idols are made of black stone or saligrama, gems or wood as in puri, or even mud. So what these idols were made up of? They are black stone or saligrama or gems or even wood we will find in puri, or even mud. These are called mulabera. What we call them as mulabera. They are not taken out, they are fixed. This type of vigraha or idol is either standing, sitting in yogasana, or in reclining pose. God Vishnu alone could be made to recline. So how these were present? So this type of vigrahas or idols are, they will be in the standing position or in the sitting position in yogasana or in a reclining pose. Reclining pose means it is in the horizontal position. So Vishnu alone could made to recline. Then tala is the unit of measurement in making idols of gods. So what is tala? It is the unit of measurement in making idols of gods. It is the distance between the top of the thumb and the foot of the ring finger. It is the distance between the top of the thumb and the foot of the ring finger when spread out. Each limb should have a given proportion. They should have a given proportion. See, thala is the unit of measurement, and it is the distance from the top of the thumb to the foot of the ring finger when spread out. So different kinds of temples are prescribed for housing different types of deities. So different kinds of temples, they are wished to have different housing, different types of deities. There are specific rules for construction of temples. A temple is like a human body. So for constructing a temple also, plenty of rules were there. Those rules were like a temple is also like a human body. Vishnu temples are built in the west of towns, Shiva temples in the northeast, Ganapati idols are installed in the northern part of Shiva's temples. So where do we place this? Vishnu temples are built in the west of the towns. West side of the towns will find Vishnu temples. Shiva's temples will find in the northeast, whereas Ganapati, Lord Vigneshwara, Ganesh, so their idols are installed in the northern part of the Shiva temples. Now, particular types of domes or the vimanas have to be built for the principal deities. The deity that is sitting or standing will have a square or circular dome. The reclining deity will have a rectangular or oval dome above it. So these idols are fixed at some height. Those heights we will call them as what? Deity. So that deity that is sitting or standing will have a square shape. Square shape will be there for sitting and the standing idols, or a circular dome. But the reclining deity is there where we'll find Lord Vishnu. They will be in the shape of what? Oval or dome above it. Is it clear, children? What were the different types of idols, like their positions which were placed in the temple? well cut forms of deities like the humans are called Vyakta, and the forms like that are of Shivalinga are called Avyukta form of idol. So here two types of idols are there. What are the two types of idols? Vyakta and Avyakta. Avyakta form of the idols are related to Lord Shiva, and Vyakta form of are related to what it is Lord Vishnu. There are elaborate rituals for installing an image of worship, image for worship. The mantras used in these rituals infuse the images with the spiritual power. So there are elaborate rituals, long rituals for installing an image of worship. The mantras used in the rituals for what it is to inculcate the spiritual power. The movable type of idols are cast in metals, particularly in Panchaloha. Five different metals like copper, tin, etc. are melted together in a given proportion and poured over a mold of mud or wax. So afterwards, the resulting image is polished to get perfect forms. These movable idols are taken out in procession or important occasions like festivals. So the movable, the third type of idols are what? They are made up of metals which are known as Pancha Loha. Loha means a metal. Pancha means five. Made up of five metals like copper and tin, etc. They were melted together all in the different proportions in the given proportion, and they will be poured over a mold of mud or wax. After they will for polishing them, then they will be taken to our houses, or during the festivals we will take them to worship. Our ancient knew the art of casting solid or hollow idols long before the other countries. So our ancient means our elder people knew that the art of casting a solid or a hollow idols long before other countries. Symbols play an important part in the making of idols. In fact, idols are often identified by the symbols. So symbols will play a vital role, an important role in making of idols. In fact, it is really the idols are often identified by the symbols. Then, for instance, conch and discus distinguish God Vishnu. So the conch and discus they distinguish God Vishnu. The Trishul or trident distinguishes Shiva. The Sruva or Lad Brahma. Shakti or a spear. Shakti or spear, Kartikeyas, a group of five arrows like love, god Kama, the lute, Saraswati, and the part of nectar or lotus, Lakshmi, and so on. See, so the conch or the discus, discus. See, this is Trishu. What it is, we'll call it as Vishnu, Vishnu Chakra. We'll call it as discus. Will be there. What I mean, say it is symbols. The Trishul is for Shiva, and Sruva or ladle is for Brahma. Shakti or spear, Kartikeya as for Kartikeya, and a group of five arrows, the love god Kama. So Kama, what is his symbol? It is five arrows. The lute Saraswati, the Saraswati, and the part of nectar or lotus, Lakshmi, and so on. We'll see the different images. You see here the images, different types of things we can see here, the figure. So then certain postures of hands of images of gods have great meanings. The position in which the gods show their hands will have a great meaning. Some deities hold the right palm upward and left palm downward at the waist level. The first is called Abhyamudra. It means God promises protection from difficulties. The other is Varada Mudra. It shows blessing or the grant of boons. You'll see some gods, you'll see they will keep their right hand up and their shows, and the left hand downwards. So it will have different meaning. The first one is called Abhyamudra. So this is called Abhyamudra. And they will show like this, left hand they will show down. That is called Varada Mudra. Abhyamudra means, it means that God, he gave promise that he will protect us. The second mudra, it is Varada mudra, where he will give boons to us. It shows a blessing. It shows blessing or granting of boons. We will find this, where we will find this kind of things. You see here, this god. Here you see all this Ganesha, or this, you see this is this mudra is called Abhya mudra, where it means that it is giving promising that he or she will protect us. And this left hand is showing down, this is known as Varada mudra, where they will give blessings or boons to us. We can identify images by their ornaments and dresses also. We can identify the gods by identify the images by their ornaments and the dress also. Vishnu, Indra and Kubera are made to wear rich ornaments carved neatly on the body. So the three gods, Vishnu, Indra and Kubera, so these are will wear rich ornaments carved neatly on the body. The dress of Shiva and Brahma are ascetic. Lakshmi and Saraswati are carved with ornaments suitable for their high status. Kartik is dressed in warlike robes. Kali is fiercely dressed up. So different gods there, you dress up their dresses with in different ways. Brahma and Lord Shiva, their dresses are ascetic. Lakshmi and Saraswati, they will also wear or ornaments for their high status. Kartik is dressed with warlike robes, and Kali is fiercely dressed up. Vishnu wears an ornament called Kaustuba, or who is here on his chest. So Vishnu will wear an ornament which is known as Kaustubam, Kaustuba on his chest. It indicates supreme knowledge. So what it indicates? That Kaustuba indicates it is the king of all the knowledge, power of the knowledge. The Garuda on which Vishnu flies, the Garuda on which Vishnu flies will be stands for mind. It will be stands for mind. Yes, the four heads of Brahma stand for the four Vedas. So see the figure, Brahma, he is known as Brahma, and the middle one is known as Vishnu. Here this is Lord Shiva. So Brahma is having four heads which reflects the four Vedas. The four hands of Saraswati are the four Vedas and the book she holds. Saraswati is having four hands which indicates the four Vedas, and the book she holds is knowledge. The string of beads she tells us times is time. The strings of the beads will say us the time. The three eyes of Shiva are sun, moon and Agni, or the fire god. So Shiva is having three eyes. They are known as sun, moon and the Agni or the fire god. The three branches of Trishul Shiva carries stand for the three qualities like Satya, Rajasas and Tamas. So Satya, sorry, Sattva, not Satya, Sattva, Rajas and Tamas. That is goodness, passion and ignorance. So what these three qualities of the Trishul, which is having three qualities, the three branches of Trishul, goodness, passion and ignorance. Thus the art of image making implies the great many religious and artistic truths, and our ancients knew that art long before any other country. They have used images an excellent aid to religion. So it indicates our country people, they know the art long before than the other countries. So they used images and is an excellent aid for to a religion. So this is about the worship, the lesson worship, image worship. So when these images were brought into this, it is there in the ancient years 3000 BC. That is in the Agamas we will find, and even in the Vedas also we will find. So different types of idols will find. We know that, and the position, the posture of the idols also we will see, and types of idols: movable, immovable, partially movable, and the ornaments, the dress which they were wear up, and the meaning of Trishul, the meaning of four heads of Lord Brahma, and the meaning of the right hand showing up and left hand showing down by these gods. All those meanings we have studied. So I think you understand this, and thank you very much.